Hi families, welcome to this year's Meet the Teacher. My name is Miss Erin Alleman and I will be your students' first grade teacher this year. I'm so excited to start this year. I think we're going to have a great experience. We might have a couple hiccups with technology here and there, so thank you for being patient with me. I'll try my best to make things as easy as possible. If you were in our Google Meet earlier today, thank you for, like I said, being patient and getting in there. I'm realizing that if I send a link through my Dublin City Schools email, that it only would like to allow other Dublin City School email users in the link. Otherwise, you had to request permission so I could allow you in. So if you had trouble with that, I'm really sorry. I'm going to work on a way to make that a little bit easier so that you guys are able to get in without any issues or anything like that. So let me go ahead and get started. All right. So when I did our Google Meet earlier, thank you for muting your microphone so you could hear clearly. And we had a little bit of time for question and answers at the end. I will email out this presentation along with this recording so that you can go back and look through it at your own pace and when you would like to look at it again if you have any more questions. Like I said, I am Miss Alleman. This is my third year teaching at Thomas. I've been at Thomas for about 5 years now, actually, as I completed my student teaching here in first grade with Mrs. Kusinik. And then I have, for the most part, stuck around ever since. I absolutely love it here. We just have such a great school, and I'm so lucky to be a part of it. I attended college at the University of Dayton, and I'm actually from Dublin originally, so it's just great to be back. All right, where am I? So I will be doing remote teaching from my classroom here at Thomas Elementary. I wanted to attach a few pictures so everybody could see what our classroom looks like if we ever, hopefully, get to come back maybe next semester. So I haven't totally finished setting it up because I just moved into this classroom from another one down the hall. But it's a great classroom. We have a wall full of windows, a ton of space. It's really nice, so I can't wait for everybody to get to see it. If you ever need to contact me, the best way to contact me is through email. I'm going to try and respond as quickly as possible, hopefully within 24 hours. It might be a little bit longer on the weekend. I posted my email here if you ever need it, as well as Thomas Elementary's phone number. You could always leave me a voicemail, but again, really the easiest and quickest way to get a hold of me is email. And our goals for weeks 1 and 2. So for these 2 weeks, we're really trying to keep it simple and a slow start for students and parents as we ease back into the school year. So we're going to focus on fostering positive relationships among students. So really focusing on getting to know each other a little bit better, getting to learn about each other so that we can have some face-to-face interaction with our friends. So it feels maybe a little bit less like we're online. And then we're going to start establishing our guidelines for kindness, respect, and cooperation within our Google Classroom and our classroom family and community. We're also going to spend some time just practicing using some of these digital tools that we're going to use throughout our remote learning time. So things like Google Classroom and some other applications that maybe students use in kindergarten and maybe not. But we'll give them plenty of time to practice so that once we start using it a little bit more intensely, that it should just come a lot easier. And we ask that all students participate to the best of their ability. So we know, especially in these first couple weeks, it's going to be, maybe a little bit difficult getting back in the swing of things and feeling like we're back in school again. So all we ask is that students just do their best. For our first 2 week schedule, so this is going to look a little bit different after these first 2 weeks. Like I said, we just want to keep it a little bit easier on students and families in weeks 1 and 2. So we're going to do whole group Google Meet, so our whole class together at 9 a.m., 11 a.m., and 3 p.m. each day. So ideally, we would like students to join all of those meetings, but it might not be possible, and that's okay. We'll repeat information throughout the different meetings so that if you missed one, we can catch you up to speed later. And for technology, as remote learners, we're going to be doing a lot of our learning through technology, and we're going to be using Google Classroom this year. So you may have used Google Classroom in kindergarten. If not, no big deal. We'll just get to know it a little bit better this year. So students can log in with their email and password when they're logging in, and I will email out student emails and passwords just to make it a little bit easier to find. And the links to our future Google Meets are always going to be at the top of our Google Classroom. So when it's time to meet, we can just pop into Google Classroom and click the link at the top. And Google Classroom is also where daily information, daily resources, and what we're going to be working on that day, that's all going to be living in Google Classroom. And if you would like to click on this link right here, it's a technology support for parents. So they go through Google Classroom, Chromebooks, things like that. So it would be really great if students could practice logging into Google Classroom. Again, this is where we're going to be logging on to every morning to get on our Google Meets. So once you log into Google Classroom, you'll see that this is our class code up at the top. You shouldn't have to type it in each time because you should just be able to click the link that's also at the top. You'll be able to see it once your student is logged into their Google Classroom. And if you would like to watch this video, I think this is a really great resource for parents talking about some of the features of Google Classroom and how it can be used at home. And this is just a really great way to get to know it a little bit better if you're not very familiar with it. So expectations for Google Meets. So with our students, this is something that we are going to be talking about over the first 2 weeks and really throughout the semester as we dive into online learning. So we ask that students always turn on their camera when they join the meeting so we can see their face. They'll start off with their microphone muted so that way they can hear what to expect and what's going to be going on. And then when it's time for them to speak, they can unmute their microphones. So again, this is something that students are probably going to have to practice on their own so that they're able to mute and unmute their microphone just on their own time without having to ask an adult to do that for them. We ask that all distractions are either turned off or put away. So not having a TV on in the background, not playing with toys while they're on, things like that. Make sure they're not, walking around and just getting distracted. And also listening to others and using kind words. As for expectations for parents, first of all, I just want to say thank you for supporting your child's learning. I know it's not always easy to be teaching from home, so really thank you for all you do and all your support. We ask that parents remain just a quiet observer and really allow your students to answer freely. So by allowing your students to give their own answers, even when they don't know what the answer is, that is okay. That helps us as teachers know what they do know already and what we need to work with them on. And please be available to help with technological issues as those arise. Hopefully, as we start getting into Google Classroom every day, it's maybe a little bit easier for students to log on their own. And, we won't have as many issues as we go through the semester. And finally, just make sure your student has something to write with. So either a pencil and paper or crayon or marker, anything like that, or a whiteboard and marker. And here's a link to my class website. So this is really more of a resource for parents. You can find a lot of great information on there. I ask that you take just about a few minutes to kind of look through here and see what information is here. It's still a work in progress. We just started these this year in Dublin, this specific website. So I'll be adding more information throughout the year. All right, and thank you to the parents who asked so many great questions and for all of the kiddos who asked really great questions. It was so nice to see you face to face and get to have some interaction. I'll see you again next Monday. And if you have any more questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me. Like I said, email is always the quickest way. So if you would like to email me, I'll try and get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you.